SlashU.
It's been so long,
I've missed you so much.
and we have to do it via Zoom.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Mwah.
I cannot wait to get back in the studio, but we are back after what seems to be like a year. When was the last time we recorded? Wasn't it like in 2006?
Well, Milwaukee Horror Con, we did some recordings, but that wasn't like a real episode.
Oh, that's not real episode. That's just us being handsome and cute.
And
This is,
lots of people joined us, but
yes,
well,
we did have a
appreciate it.
good one. Well, we have someone joining us on this episode too, which is pretty rad. A
Yeah,
little bit later down. But I feel like I feel like I don't know how to do a podcast because I'm not in our setting. Like I'm
I
just
know. And when we when we do it over Zoom, it's like, where's the music? There's what do we do? This is gonna be episode 189 of Slash U. I needed to look it up.
189, dude.
So, the last time you heard us was a special episode Milwaukee Horror Con, and prior to that was our interview with author DJ Slater, talking about his book Legend Has It, which has come out, and you're in the middle of reading. I'm going to start
I'm
reading
halfway
it.
in it. It's fun. I
Um,
just got through my first kill, but no spoilers.
yeah, but today, I'll tee it up. Today we're talking about an amazing slasher movie as we are entering October. Yep, 2024, 1 hour 21 minutes, haunt season.
Yeah, dude. And what's even cooler, radder? I don't know, whatever.
Better.
We're gonna we're gonna be talking to writer director Jake Jarvi.
Yeah, the brains
He's
behind the movie.
the brains behind the movie. Fun fact about haunt season, Andy.
Hmm.
Your wife in Murder Cabin is in this movie too.
Correct.
Sydney Moody.
Sydney Moody plays Celeste, one of the actors in the haunt in this movie, and she does a great job. So we're excited to talk about this one today, for
The
sure.
movie is just great. It's filmed in our area. Jake is based in Chicago. We're based in Milwaukee. It's about an hour and a half separation, but this was filmed like right at the border of Illinois.
Yeah, kind of like the outer suburbs in and around Six Flags Great America down
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
See, we didn't even do it right. We're 2024, 1 hour, 21 minutes,
I
hot
tried.
season.
I tried. Uh, Available on Prime Video, Tubi, Pluto
Tubi.
TV, Plex. I mean,
Awesome. Streaming
Awesome.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
watched it on Tubi, you watched it on Prime, so available in plenty of places.
Give them the lowdown of the movie, Mr. If you can, if you feel that you're up to it. I know it's been a
I
while,
can,
but I
yeah.
believe in you.
I don't
I
have
believe.
official Cliff Kill notes. I'm sorry, but the summary: a masked maniac targets cast members at a suburban Halloween haunt attraction, turning their staged injuries into gruesome real life horrors. And as the terror escalates, the lines between performance and reality blur.
That,
We've covered a movie like this in the past. Remember? Was it Hellfest?
yes.
Where the whole theme park is a haunted house theme park, and
It's
there's a killer going around killing, and it's amazing how well he's able to hide because everyone thinks it's fake,
And
right?
I love the fucking ending of that one too, where he's like, "Daddy, you're home." Like this guy's just an everyday, like that's kind of one where the backstory is like, this dude's like an average Joe. But
Right.
yes, there's so many components where you wrote that last line, lines between performance and reality kind of blur,
Yes.
because there are so many moments in this movie that where oh, it's Halloween, this is part of the gig, isn't it? And then
Right.
someone's really getting
Someone's really getting killed. We are going to spoil the whole thing. Put that up right here before we actually do it. So if you have not
yes,
seen it and you don't want to get spoiled, go watch it and come back.
pause, hit
So
pause.
yeah, hit pause and go watch. But we are
Don't
going to
hit, well,
spoil it.
if your pet's name is Pause, don't hit pause. Just
Don't hit
don't hit your animal.
press pause.
Press pause, pet pause.
Pet pause.
Um, this is kind of different too because when we get back into the mix of our studio, that's where I kind of feel like I'm able to kind of more be who I am. Uh,
Same.
our
I can smell
format,
you.
yes, I
I
can
can see
taste
you.
you.
Your spittle hits my chin as you talk
Oh,
across the table.
um,
And all other sexual innuendo. Yes.
but this one is just going to be kind of different because we do have Jake is going to be joining us here probably in about 15 minutes.
Right, right.
Which is going to be great to kind of break down. We have questions for him. Um, there were so many components of this movie that I enjoyed. You got to respect a production that, isn't, they didn't have, John J. Rockefeller, as an
Sure.
executive producer. So to able to put together the kills, the practical effects, and a solid film.
Yeah.
Uh, I really had a good time with it, you know.
Like it's so cool because it's like low budget, but it's not like low budget. Like, oh, where do they shoot this on a camcorder? No, it's still hard, like it's a professionally
Indie.
done good
Yeah.
movie, indie film, and amazing effects, great kills,
Character
uh,
development,
and a lot of
will say,
heart. Yeah,
yeah. I thought the character development within this was outstanding because I really found myself like when watching some of the kills, I got bummed. Like
same.
again, like, you know, Rosemary, that one
Yep.
affected me. You know, I was
Right.
kind of like, because like I think when we were texting and we talked, like as you said, she put up a fight.
Yeah.
She put up those dukes and was like, "Let's go." And
Yeah, that was
fortunately,
cool.
she still met her demise.
She did.
Um,
I'm gonna ask Jake about the symmetry of some of the kills, where the characters, like I'll give you a good example. The Bradford, who's the guy who plays sort of less the more or less the MC of the whole haunted house. He's got a big old top hat, and he at one point when he takes it off, he's got like the fake knife in his head and makeup like he's been stabbed in the head, and he's creeping everybody out like, yeah, welcome to the haunted house. And he ends up getting killed in the movie by getting stabbed in the top of his head. And I just thought that was so cool how it mirrors what happens to him. And there's numerous examples of that. And
yep.
I'm going to be asking Jake about that,
I
how
just
that
wonder,
transpired.
like, how he settled, for a haunt.
Yeah,
Like it's because it is the good, like the juxtaposition between what's real and what's not. And
yeah.
there's so many moments in the film where it's kind of like, like the idea of, you know, God, I'm a writer. I can't think of my words. What is real and what's not? Hey, look, this person's really dying in real life, but people don't know because they think it's just,
They
this is a
think it's,
prop. This is
yeah,
this
an
is an
act. Yeah,
idea,
yeah.
you know.
Do you
Um,
ever think, Nick, that maybe something like this has happened in real life, but they just
oh
kept it
God,
quiet? Because I feel like if something like this happened in real life, all haunted houses would just be canceled forever. Nobody would ever do them anymore.
no, because I disagree
Okay.
because like people get shot at concerts and they still have
And they still
concerts.
have concerts. Well, yeah, but I hope that real psychopaths don't watch a movie like this and think, you know what? I could really get away with it if I just dress up and
That's
pretend it's a
maybe
fake
that's
knife.
why that's a good point, Andy. That's why instead of 4 stars, I'm giving it 3 now. Damn it, Jake. Now Jake just awoke so
Yeah.
many, psycho. They'll be like, hey, this is a good idea. Because you're right. I mean, you would never know. I mean, if I
No.
walked into like the screams, the agony, seeing someone, I'd like to think if I saw someone get their head cut off, I'd be like, okay, that's definitely real. But if I
Oh
saw
yeah.
someone get their arm cut off, I mean, and saw some blood squirt out, I mean, I'd probably be like, I don't know. Like, it's a good question. But like,
Yeah.
if like in the movie where, where Tall John dies,
Yeah.
I mean, if I was seeing that, I'd be like, oh, keep walking. Like, that's just part of the
Well, and that's
show.
what happens. Yeah.
Yep.
Part of the movie, it was cool because I do like, let's point that out especially. Tall John is a character who plays, he's kind of like the everyman, and he in the context of the movie, he's just another dude that's in line to get in to the haunted house, and the actors in the haunted house sort of pull him out, and they pretend, that they're slitting his throat. And it plays up to the crowd. The people there think, "Oh my God, this is a dude that they just pulled out of line, and then they cut his throat." That's all hilarious. But they know that, I guess, that it's an actor and it's not real. That's Tall John. Well, what ends up happening? He gets pulled out of line later in the movie, and the killer really stabs him. And the look on his face of just like, holy fucking shit, this is supposed to be fake. I'm not actually supposed to be dying right now. It hit me hard because he's such a
My
nice guy.
my dick shot kill of
Dick
the week.
shot kill
Oh
of the
yeah,
week
we
is
don't have pew, 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 pew,
I'm
pew.
so sad for Tall John. And I love that they call him Tall John when he like wasn't the tallest character.
Yeah.
So
But no, but my dick shot kill of the week. Dick shot kill of the week. Dick shot kill of the week. God, I forgot the damn character's name, but they're up against the wall and Danny comes through with the chainsaw and he sticks his arm through the dead,
the
the
guy's torso
guy's torso to grab on to one of the actresses, V, and keep her in there.
yeah,
So that was
reaches
very
through the body.
yeah, I dig creative kills. And so I think we
Yeah.
found one in this one. Did you have a favorite kill?
Well, I mean, the Tall John one was the most emotional for me, so that's, I guess, more or less my favorite. Um, if I have
Rosemary.
to pick, yeah, a favorite that I was happy about was the killer getting killed. So spoilers there. I mean, we already said we're going to spoil it. When Danny is the killer and when he gets his head bashed in with a
Oh
bowling
yeah,
ball,
that's
that's
another great
fucking
effect.
awesome.
Like, because it leaves to your imagination. Because I can picture how they did it, but the bowling, like it's
But
some interesting kills.
they did it so well that you're like, oh my God, I jumped a little. The camera angle's right there, and you
Yeah,
actually see, some shit splatter on the lens. It's like, whoa. So that was
yeah,
badass.
it's cool. I know like at SlashU we usually, like find things to rip on. But the only thing I think I'm gonna rip on is that maybe the writer director is giving too much power to people to go into haunted houses and kill people.
Sure. Yeah, maybe they should be a pat down a little bit. Do you have any weapons? Uh,
What movie? Have you ever seen Haunt Season? No, I've never
right,
seen it.
right.
You can go. Have you ever seen Haunt Season? Yeah, just watch it. Come here. We're sending you through a couple scanners.
Right.
Beep,
So
beep.
I guess what we should do before we get Jake in is talk about the basic outline. We're not going to go scene by scene, but we should at least set up how this movie's structured. The story centers around Matilda, who's a relatively fresh college grad. She was a theater kid, and she even says it in the movie. Most of her friends took off and went to find acting jobs in LA or New
Oh,
York,
New
and
York theater or yep.
she's left in Chicago kind of a failure to launch, more or less. She's a little afraid to go out into the big bad world, so she's spending her immediate time right after college, sort of working. She gets a job at this haunted house as the scream girl, who's
Yeah.
handcuffed to the wall, getting scalped. That's her job, and so the story centers around her, and she picks up three quick friends: Celeste, who's played by a friend of the show
Sydney
and
Moody.
Murder Cabin star Sid Moody, and
Moody.
we say her name so fast, so we get it wrong. Sid Moody
Moody. Moody.
and the other three or the other two. There's
V. Yeah,
the
V. And then Mika.
Janet Dorado is V, and
So
damn,
basically, yeah, it's a haunt
Mika,
season, so it's a
whatever her
haunt
name is.
attraction. So movie's haunt season. It's a haunt attraction. So they're all friends. They all, of course, hang out together. They're theater kids. They're, they flirt. They hang out. They're, some are exhibitionists. Like we get that. Like, so it's their story. Um, Kind of focused, and I really feel like it's kind of over. It's not really spanned out. I feel like it's just a couple
Few
days where
days. Yeah. Yeah.
um, there are, a story leading up to deaths. I mean, as you
Hmm.
can see, like we have a nefarious killer whose backstory, which another thing we're gonna have to talk with.
I'm gonna talk to yeah. You and I each collaborated and said what questions are we gonna ask, and I'm gonna ask Jake
The
about the
backstory one's
motives of this
interesting, but
killer. Yeah.
people from this haunt start getting picked off one by one.
Yeah.
And they are marked by blood. So like
Right.
if you see someone get a finger reach out and they, like a mysterious finger reach out and just kind of wipe blood on
Little
them,
blood smear.
a little blood smear, then
Yeah.
that means later,
Yep.
for the most part.
For the
Um,
most part, it's so cool. I think um God, I just had something I was gonna say. I forgot. It's gone now. Damn it.
but it really is kind of like what I like about it is because you see friendships getting, friendships happening. You see, a story starts to develop,
The
but it's
movie
all,
has credibility is the word I was using because there's so many slasher movies that just they kind of stay surface level, they kind of stay shallow. And I've said it more than once on this podcast. When characters start getting killed, I've like, I don't fucking care about any of these people. Like,
yeah.
kill them all. But not here. Here, I was like, oh, dude, I didn't want that guy to die, or oh man, I thought she was gonna make it. So that
I
says
agree with
something.
that. That's a good call. Like, because
Yeah.
usually the same thing. We've seen so many movies where it's just like, kill him, hurry.
Yep. Yep.
Because like you see people that, like again, like if we bring up Tall John a lot,
Yeah.
like kind of like the that trope of is he the killer?
He's
He gonna be
definitely
the
a
one?
little
Because first
misdirected.
watch,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what I was thinking. I mean, well, I knew it wasn't Tall John, but I knew that the setup was they're
Yeah.
making him look like it. Like maybe he's got because he's not as maybe outgoing
Yeah.
as the rest of this group, who, of course, is theater kids and as
Yep.
people that are into this, are very extroverted, very loud, very comfortable with themselves.
Oh, yeah, Jace, the character Jace. When he's not acting in the haunted house, he is walking around naked. So, very comfortable with himself.
Yeah. Uh, Same with Sid. I think in her character, she was also like, an OnlyFans. Uh, wouldn't say OnlyFans. I don't think they are employed by OnlyFans, but she's an OnlyFans model. Uh,
Yeah, and she talked about that from an angle of empowerment. She even said, I was nervous at first, but then the more I did it, the less nervous I was, or the more I wanted it. I wanted it more than I was nervous about it. And so she uses it. She even has a little line of dialogue in the movie with the main character, where, how she's talking about it's this creepy little world that I have on my phone that I control. And to me, that's really a lot of fun. I get to do whatever I want, and the fans the fans like it, and that's where she gets money in the movie. But then there's Jace, the hot guy, who's just naked because he likes being naked, and he's got a whole speech in there about the power of the penis. And there's a little bit of back and forth about like with Matilda saying, "Oh yeah, it's a weapon," and he's like, "Well, anything could be a weapon. People get stabbed in the neck with pens." And she's like, "Yeah, but pens don't rape
yeah.
people." Like I was like, "Wow, this is really creative and good." And I think a lot of the reviews on this movie are pretty 50-50. You got some people who are like, it's too woke, blah, blah. And it's like, well, I don't think so. I think it's actually raising things that people should probably talk about a little more. And then you got others who are like, it's amazing. I love the characters, and it was awesome and fun to watch. A good movie to sit down with some friends and watch like every Halloween if you're into that.
Yeah. I like because what's cool is what we brought up, like the haunt already gives it kind of that ready, like the theme is already there. You get to lean into all these set pieces and really get to see it kind of come to life.
But right behind you in your background are
Oh
is
yeah.
some of the makeup and costumes that are
Yeah.
actually in the movie. So
Um,
for those of you only listening to the audio portion, I would go look at the title art, the title cover art of the movie, and that's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
yeah, but one thing that I guess I wanted to see, like if I, not to pinpoint or prick, but like the ending, kind of like it's like I kind of thought it'd been cool, like a Thelma Louise kind of thing, or where it's just like Matilda, because my gut's telling me Matilda and Celeste hopped in a car and took off to L.A.
yes,
Because that's what she's kind of saying, like the L.A. Because
yes.
the scene ends with the chaos.
It was hilarious because right, the survivors are there sitting in the back of an ambulance, and Matilda is like, "Well, I'm going to LA," and Celeste is like, "So you're not afraid anymore?" And she's like, "Afraid of LA?" No. And like she literally stands up like she's gonna leave right that minute. But I was like, no, the police might have some questions for you. I don't think you can go right now.
Yeah, but exactly. But for like, if you think about it, for like, if you're a horror fan, which I think people listen to us, I don't think people come here to go like, why
Yeah,
don't Nick and Andy ever do rom-coms
yeah.
or rom-com you? But
Maybe someday.
but for horror fans who like lean into kind of that the macabre, the the gore,
Yeah,
the mood, the effects. I mean, it does that.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's a solid watch. Like, is it gonna define like, what Kevin Williams did for Scream?
No,
No. But I mean,
but you
it's
do
a
have
fun movie.
characters. You have characters you care about. They experience real growth. Matilda's the perfect example. She says in the movie how she's afraid of, she's graduated now. She doesn't know what to do, and she's like, "I'm scared to go to LA. I kind of don't know what I'm doing." But by the end, she's like, "I escaped a killer, so fuck my fears. I'm going to LA," which is great.
Yeah, I mean
You know?
it's the abrupt ending, kind of man, that's kind of might have went if I have time, I might ask Jake about that. But like as far as like the aesthetics, that kind of walking the fine line between what's real and what's not,
Mm-hmm.
I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I like using words like juxtaposition because it makes me seem smart and
Yes, you
like
are
a
smart.
cinephile
Yeah.
because that's what I go for on
We're
SlashU.
we're both full-fledged cinephiles at this point.
But as following like that Hellfest haunt.
Hmm.
Didn't we do one the Fun House? You remember the Fun House that we
Yeah.
did?
Yeah. With the creepy monster Yeah.
Yeah, but also like the 40-year-olds that played high schoolers.
Right.
But wasn't
Yeah.
that, I think that's kind of like one of the first ones we watched that was kind of set in a haunted attraction, but
Right. Right.
nothing to the extreme of this. But you know, I think this is a perfect kickoff for spooky season.
Yep.
Um, you know, I
Yep.
maybe am playing a little bit more favorites because we got to meet Jake at the Milwaukee Horror Con. Of course, we work so closely with Sid, so that's why when I remember watching it, going, "Oh God, I gotta watch it." I was so nervous that it wasn't gonna be good, and I would have to be like, "Yeah, it was pretty good," But I'm so glad. I mean, like even Jody, we both thoroughly enjoyed it.
Good. Well, before we toss to our interview with Jake, do you want to, we'll tee up what we are covering next time. Does that sound okay?
Oh yeah, could you do that for me?
Sure. So, yeah, this is, what did I say? This is episode 189. I don't know.
189, dude.
Episode 190 next week, if you want to get ahead on your homework, is 1 hour, 25 minutes, again from 2024. It's called Cheater Cheater. And Nick's shaking his head because him and his lovely wife Jody already have watched this, and I think it's going to be a good one. A mysterious serial killer has violently claimed the lives of five random residents in the small town of
Ya-
Yamika, Washington.
Yakima.
Yakima, Washington.
Yakima.
Sorry for those of you in Yakima, Washington. But here in Wisconsin, we also have a lot of city names that are hard to pronounce. So sue me. Then all goes
Good
silent.
call.
5 years later, former resident Joseph Givens returns after trying to better himself and shake the demons that consumed his teenage years. Uh, his return sparks a new series of brutal crimes, being stalked, and the people around him are being hunted by a madman wearing a tattered pumpkin mask and wielding a sharp knife. And that's really the main reason why I chose this one is because the guy has a pumpkin mask on. So I'm excited to watch Cheater Cheater.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we don't get if we ever have a chance to interview this writer director, it's gonna be all hell. Like gloves are coming off.
So
I mean, again, he's in the game, I guess, but
yeah, yeah, that's true. But I don't know. Anything else before we toss to the interview?
let's yeah, he should be hopping in soon. So
All right.
no, I'm good. It still feels the Zoom thing still always gets me. Like I don't feel like I'm connected. It makes me all feel weird. I
Yeah,
know
well
I'm
then the
older, I know technology scares me.
pandemic must
I'm
have been
like,
rough
what
for
is
you, my friend.
this?
Yeah,
Huh?
the pandemic must have been kind of rough for you then.
I didn't do anything. I I no.
Yeah, I love
I
being in
was drinking
person
a lot.
too. I love being in person, but we'll be back in studio next week, next time. So without further ado, let's go to our interview with writer director Jake Jarvi.
Yay!
Hey everyone, here we are,
As promised.
as promised, with our
Writer,
guest.
director, so glad to join us, Mr. Jake Jarvie. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Yes, thanks for being
Thank you
here,
for
Jake.
having me. It's my pure pleasure, and I had such a good time hanging out with you guys at Milwaukee Horror.
We
Oh my
did as
gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we're so glad we could make this happen. And I know everybody's stoked on my background. Like, I got the haunt season background and
Yep.
with
What
all
I'm
the
am-
great masks and characters, and I feel like I'm one of them.
you would look exactly like one of them. I'm also amazed by how often your green screen effect eats your hat. It's amazing.
Oh yeah,
Like
definitely.
every time it moves, it wants to take it, but that's fine. That's fine.
Also
That's
doesn't
good.
like the Cardinals. That's great.
Oh,
All right,
oof.
calm down. Everyone needs to
Ouch.
calm down. This is a slash you
Ouch.
podcast, not baseball you. Um, Speaking of that, real quick, the masks I just fell in love with this movie. There's so much to talk about. It's a fun movie.
Thank you,
I'm
dude.
saying that it's fun to watch. And
Yep.
I'm speaking
That
for
was my
Andy.
first goal. That was my main goal. Was like I wanted to make one that like felt like a pizza party movie from me growing up. Like you rent a fun movie and get some pizza, hang out with your buddies, and just have a good time.
Yep.
And so I was trying to kind of get that vibe going.
Nailed it.
Well, there's so many questions that I know that Andy and I have, but the first one I think I'm just going to throw out there. Because real quick, I mean, everyone knows what the movie's about because they're
Yeah.
already been involved in the podcast. We've talked about it.
We
But
dissected it. Yeah. And I watched it
are
twice.
you,
Nick's watched it twice, right?
Yeah, can
yeah,
I
yeah,
ask
oh
where you
yeah.
watched it? Where did you guys watch it?
I watched it on Amazon Prime. I watched it this morning because we always do two watches so we can really break it down and get into the characters, notes, etc., etc., etc.,
Yeah.
etc., whatever,
Yeah.
and so on. Um, so I watched it this morning, 7 a.m. With
Ooh,
a glass of iced coffee, and I watched it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
Free.
nice.
I watched it on Tubi.
Yeah,
Um,
dude. Okay, to
Whoopee!
be or
yeah.
not to be. That's
No,
the
I
Yeah.
mean,
those are
a
the
lot of
places
stuff on
I'm
Tubi.
seeing the two most places coming in.
Okay.
Prime, like when we became like available for Prime subscribers, like our letterbox reviews just phew,
Oh,
they just ticked right up.
that's fun.
We, I feel like we've been doing this podcast now for a while. I mean, we're pretty big. I mean, we got like 3 listeners in Scotland, so
I love it.
we're pretty
Hey,
Yeah.
big.
Scotland, come on out. Scotland gets to watch the unrated cut. Scotland gets to watch the nudity version of the movie,
Oh,
not like us
what?
in the US.
Yeah, that's the one. Like they male genitalia, and I think more of Sid's boobs.
Yeah.
And people know Sid was in our short as well. She was also one of the actors in Haunt season, so that was kind of like a little. Uh,
Sid kills it in Murder Cabin. Sid
yeah,
is so
Yes.
good in Murder Cabin. I just you know how sometimes you go to like friend things and you're like, "Oh, I hope it's good. I hope it's
Yeah.
good."
Yeah.
Because you're going to say it's good no matter what. But then it's when you see something that is so fun, filled with this like smirking joy like Murder Cabin,
Yeah.
it's got this like really fun. It's like it's got a mean-spirited energy, but not the kind that's like kind of brutal. It's got brutal stuff in it, but it's like it's got that mean-spirited fun where you're just like these guys are having a blast. And
yeah,
Sid finally gets to do that. Like she's always wanted to. Like she talked about it in Haunt season where she like I should be a killer. Like I don't know how much we talk about Murder Cabin on this, but like she is incredible in your short.
yeah.
Great.
It was funny because Andy, people after the showing, people were like, "We're mad at Andy," and
Oh,
Andy's
in
the nicest
Milwaukee.
guy in the
Yeah.
world. Like
Yeah.
nicer than. I mean, it's crazy
Yeah.
how great of a person he
I'm a
is.
big teddy bear,
But
honestly.
unbelievable played the part so well. And Sid, like afterwards, people were coming up to her and say, "Do the neck thing," where she. And I
Yeah.
wrote that in the script, but it was just like she took it. Like she was even like, "I'm gonna do it small and then bring it up." I went, "Go."
Eddie, I'm so sorry. You're incredible in it too, man. I didn't even the beard and like your general
Oh,
niceness attitude, I
yeah.
didn't even realize it was you.
Yeah. That was one thing I didn't like was losing the beard, and neither did my
I,
wife. But Nick's like they didn't. That was at 1950s. You're not gonna have a beard, and I was like, damn it. But I kept the hairstyle. I grew my
yeah.
hair out after that movie because I was like, hair looks good. I usually do a buzz cut.
Yeah,
So
no, looks good.
yeah.
I didn't even
Well,
realize that was you. You did a great job, man.
yeah,
Good.
yeah. I mean,
Thank
it was
you.
crazy seeing people come up and give him look and go, "I don't like you," and he's
Yeah.
like, "Great,
Yeah, you were a
that means
total
you did a
fucking
good
dick in
job."
that
But
movie.
bringing it back into while we're here, have you always been a fan of haunts? Like what? Like the story is just. I love the idea. We've seen some dive into haunt attractions, Hellfest, but like
Hmm.
this idea of a small haunt, like coming in, um, just right off the bat, the story just goes right into it. Have you always, was this something that's always been in the back of your mind? Like what got you into
No.
that haunt attraction?
No, the thing is I love horror movies and I like have always loved them and I even before I was allowed to watch them, I was like the Garfield Halloween special. Like something about the creepy side of things always pulled me in. But like people jumping out at me really freaks me out. Like I really get like scared in haunted houses. And so I
Yeah.
haven't
So is Nick.
I hadn't done like none. I had not done any haunted houses before writing the movie, and I hadn't even gone through Steve's haunt, the haunt that we shot in when I
Okay.
wrote the movie. And so when I met with him, I was like, I went through it when it was closed because we were shooting a music video in there for my YouTube job. I work for a guy named Rob Scallon YouTube channel, and that's like my main thing that I do. But so we shot a couple of his like metal on banjo music videos in there, and then when it was time to like I wasn't even like in the feature space, but after shooting one of those music videos, Steve was like, "Yo, dude, you do this, I do this. Like, let's, I've done production work before. Let's make a movie. Let's do this." And so like I just wrote a script incorporating a bunch of the like places that Steve has curated and made over the last 20 years, and And I always loved horror movies, and slashers are my absolute favorite. So I
Mhm.
knew I wanted to do a slasher, and I knew I like had a haunted house to play with. So I just wanted to, having seen Hell House LLC and House October Built and Hellfest, all these ones, Haunt especially, like I really liked Haunt.
Mhm.
Um, they are always about like the guests coming in and the haunt is like evil, and so you're coming in from the guest perspective, and as someone who makes stuff and someone who like tries to entertain people, I really am more interested in the like view from inside the haunted house world, like people who are putting on a show. I wanted to like be a part of them, be a part of their crew, and have them be getting picked off. And also like seasonal employment, people disappear, people don't show up. Like it kind of all just felt like the right kind of vibe for this movie. And then the first haunted house I went in wasn't even Realm. Like I went into Halloween Horror Nights after writing the movie, and I was like, "Oh, this is great! I love all the atmosphere. I love all the stuff. People jumping out at me freaks me out,
Me too.
but that's
Yeah.
fine." And then I went through Steve's Haunt, Realm of Terror in Round Lake Beach, and it's much bigger than it looks in the movie.
Yeah.
And I just like I only like based on like the amount of time we had to light and shoot the movie, I only used like I don't know like 8% of that actual haunt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. So it's like way huger in there, and I always do their like haunt rap video. I go through the haunt with my camera every year just so that all of his actors can see themselves in the haunt at the rap party,
Oh.
and it always scares the hell out of me.
That's what's so funny. Real quick, I know I can't do it. Like I do a horror podcast. I watch horror with and I write horror movies, screenplays, and you will not find me in a haunt. I will put my foot down. I went through one at a fucking state fair, like where the animatronic, and I was like, "Wah!"
Too
So
scary.
that's me.
Too
Yeah,
scary.
I love them. I love the atmosphere, especially like the outside of the haunt vibe, like when there's the gathering areas and there's just like stands and stuff that like that have the spirit of the season around, and just a couple of scare actors walking around, and the crowd works like scare actors that are going around are
Characters.
more they're more I don't even know if they call themselves that. That might be very offensive. I don't know. But like they like those ones who
He's the
come out and do
fandom.
the crowd work are more interested in like extended improv, like dark play than when you go into the haunted house where their job is to like fuck you up, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great. Um, on second watch, I noticed a couple of details that I actually didn't notice the first time. Very small details, hilarious details, and I wanted to ask you about, is that something that when stuff like that happens, is it on the spot or was it already in the script? For one, you're in it briefly. You're the
Yeah,
Yeah.
first
yeah.
person in line,
Like a
which
Hitchcock, like Alfred Hitchcock.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Alfred Hitchcock. Yeah.
That and the person who I'm with right there is my wife who
Okay.
produced the movie and production managed the movie.
Okay. The
Yeah.
other real obscure detail, and I noticed this on second watch, it's, and by the way, we're spoiling. I mean, we're
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
going to
no,
talk some
good, good.
spoilers here.
I would love to talk spoilers. I get so
Okay.
tired of not talking spoilers on
So
We
these
we
things, and it's
mentioned
been
that
out
too in
for
the
a
beginning.
year.
We mentioned that
yeah,
Been out
the
for a
beginning of the
year.
podcast.
yeah.
Yeah.
The when the our group of girls is in the escape room and in that
Yes.
part, and they're in where I think Celeste gives Matilda her phone and says, "Take a picture of me," and Matilda goes, "I don't know your code," and she's like, "It's 1031." I'm like, "Oh, that's the date of Halloween." I was like, "Did you guys do that on purpose? Is that just a spur of the moment?" Like,
So I believe that the girls actually came up with that.
that was
I
hilarious.
Yeah, I did
I
not. So
got
I
that
was
second
like
watch.
in the first draft of the script, that part wasn't in there. Like, take a picture of me. She takes a picture. The flash illuminates the person behind them and everything. That was in there. But like oh, what's your code? Came out of just like we were already had done a day of production. I'd been like really living kind of with the script and the characters and like looking for places where I could improve it. And I realized that the killer all throughout the movie is using a series of everybody's phones. So he better know everybody's codes. So I gave that line to kind of explain why everybody
That's
knows
perfect.
everybody's codes.
It
And I
is.
got
Yeah.
to tell you, like, I only bring it up. It seems like it's just kind of a dumb, small, stupid detail. But to be honest, as someone watching who wasn't involved in making the movie, it really lends a lot of credibility to the world. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that just minute detail. Like, yeah, everyone's code's 1031 because we all love Halloween. I'm like, oh my God, this gives you it gives it credibility. It makes it seem a little more believable, for lack of a better word. I was like,
No, good.
that's
I'm glad,
great.
dude.
That's
So
yeah, just to piggyback on that, the character development too is something that I really enjoyed. Of course, Sid's the homie, but I really got into the characters like Caitlin Stack, who plays Rosemary. Um,
Yeah.
I was, I was like the first watch, I was like fighting for it. The second watch, I knew she was going to perish, but I was just like, God, I didn't want to see. For some reason, I just felt like attached to her. And another thing too, who played well, Adam Hinkle, Danny
Yeah.
killed it. My favorite, I fucking fell over. Do your own laundry, patriarchy. Uh, I
Yeah.
I fucking laughed at that. I started saying it a lot too, like just kind of under my breath laughing. And my wife is Jody's going, "What the hell are you saying?" I was like, because she watched Haunt Season the first watch too, so she probably
Yeah.
didn't get onto it. But I just really enjoyed like the characters. I really enjoyed getting on. I like the kind of idea that maybe. It's Tall John, like the first watch. That guy seems kind of weird. He's letting everyone party at his house, but he wants to hang out outside. So I really, it was, I get into the characters and I liked seeing that each one had their own personality, their own flair for the environments, where it was getting shot, because that kind of brings me up to like for people that don't know, the Realm of Terror is a real haunted house here in
Oh yeah.
it's northern Illinois. Um, Jake Jarvi is in Chicago. We're in Milwaukee, so I think it's probably in between us.
Yeah.
Um, how long did you have like production? I know like you could get outside, but did you have a certain amount of time you could film at Realm of Terror?
So that was the big discussion was after Steve initially suggested it, and then I wrote this script, and then it was kind of coming down to go time. Before I answer that, I just got to loop back. Caitlin, Adam, Sarah, Tyra, Janet, everybody, they just did such an amazing job in this flick. And Rosie, who Caitlin plays, is one that my wife Eliza too was just like, oh man, when she goes, it's a bummer.
yeah,
And there's just something about Rosie. She's just there. She's ready to play. She's part of the environment. She's supportive of the kids who are acting there. Her and Bradford have a good dynamic. And she puts up a fight. She
Yes.
goes for it. She tries every way she possibly could to get out of there.
having
And it
Siri
just,
call
yeah.
911.
Yes. Yes.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Because she
Yeah.
looks right at it, but then also the killer, looks at it like, but the killer got on it too. Like they was like, oh shit, like that was good. That was good.
The only I've only had one review be like this movie called 911. Had their phone start dialing 911 when
Oh,
they were watching the movie.
sure.
Only one review mentions it
Oh,
so far.
Good thing
Um,
you didn't say Alexa. That would have been
yeah,
yeah.
that would have been even more of a problem. But
I didn't even think
um,
about that.
and Adam just has like the patriarchy line, the diet darkness draped in a Jack Skellington backpack, the just porkin. He
Yeah,
has a way of taking like the more Kevin Smithy aspects of my dialogue and just like making it
makes sense.
like
Good call.
he gets the vibe. He
Hmm.
sells the vibe, and he can be that like Kevin Smith side character, but then at the end of the movie, he can totally 180 it, and that Danny is a very different Danny. You can see the connective tissue, but when he gets down to business, you believe that too. It was amazing finding him. He's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how long did you have though? Like real quick back to that
Yeah.
realm. Like so,
Yeah.
how long did you have? Like a week or two or?
So the only way to do it at the end of the day was to do a nights and weekends production over 3 months.
Wow. Okay.
So
Yeah. Yeah, so we
wow.
like most of our cast was non-union. We had a few union actors in it as well. But the only way to do it, according to Realm's schedule, according to just the way that we were going to be able to keep up with the production of the movie with such a small production crew, like me and Liz and Tommy, like we're the only ones kind of like putting the schedule together and getting all the calls, getting all of the cart before the horse, as it
Yeah.
was happening. We were like attaching train cars as the train was moving. And so it just took that amount to 22 days was our initial shoot over 3 months. We shot inside the haunt August and September of 2022, and then some escape room stuff in there too. We had to start with every kill of the movie because our makeup effects guys had other jobs in
Mm.
September, so we had to get all of our kill scenes done in August for the most part. And then September in the haunt, a lot of group scenes, getting all the group stuff. And then the last 20 minutes of the movie, that whole like walk through the haunt and then kill out of the haunt,
Yeah.
like that took days and days to do because it's all those environments. It's just a lot, and there's just like a lot of moving parts. And then the bowling alley day was its own day,
Wow.
and then in October is when we shot a lot of stuff that took place outside of the haunt. So all of the exteriors
Yes.
in the movie were shot in the second half of October, actual Illinois October 2022.
Wow.
I like that because you can tell it's fall. Like I know some people probably aren't sticklers like that, but it's like you can see that the leaves are orange. You can see that that it's
I thought we
actually
would have more fall colors than we did. We had a very warm October that year, but like we got enough fall foliage in there to sell it.
oh yeah.
I because it was actual genuine. It was October 22nd when we shot most of the exteriors of the movie.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
I just wanted to quick call out two of the kills in the movie, and then I have a question for you. But it's along the same lines as my what's your phone code 1031. The detail, and these are things again I picked up fully on second watch was Rosemary's death. Early in
Yeah.
the movie, she explains that she used to play the girl in the tub who slit her wrists, and then that's how she first gets injured.
Yeah.
Which very good symmetry there. And Bradford, of
And then she
course.
dies in the water too.
Yeah,
Tub.
yeah, yes,
Yeah.
in the water. Well, yeah, and don't from an insurance standpoint, the spinny thing that she gets her face shoved in is like seems really high risk. Don't know why that would be so accessible to the general public, but
Yeah.
that's beside the point. The
Yeah. It's
Brad,
you can't access it except from the water feature.
I
Okay.
suppose, but any little kid could just jump in the water. But
That took a
and
head off.
Bradford obviously is the sort of MC or host of the haunt, taking off his top hat and he has the knife in his head, and that's how he
Yeah.
meets his
A
end.
heart.
Which I thought those two were very good symmetrical, like a good symmetry to their characters and
Every
their
one of
deaths.
them did too. Yeah. So
Yeah, the heart.
Josh,
You remember
the
he's like
heart
can't find his heart.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
gets his
yeah.
heart cut out. Yeah.
Oh my
And
God,
then
so
Tyra
brutal.
too, Mika, clown girl. She's applying. It's kind of harder to tell with her, but like when Matilda's looking at her on the first night, she's applying blood to her cut off arm prosthetic that her clown
Oh
has.
Yeah,
yeah.
right. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I'm gonna
I
notice
We
that on
didn't
third
see
watch.
that's the thing. We
Yeah.
did not underline the mirroring of the kills. It just was kind of placed in there,
Yeah.
and I'm just very happy that you picked up on it.
You
yeah.
see, and that's the balance though. That's the tightrope. If you were to, I guess, underline it or call a little more attention to it, now it sort of lacks its impact, in my
Yeah,
opinion, anyway.
and
But the
Seth
fact
too.
that somebody
Seth gets
notices it,
beheaded.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Could you, for me, my question was narrow down. Spoiling right now, Danny's the killer. Could we his motive for exactly why he's doing this, and then how did you sort of come up with that and flesh that out in this
Yeah.
movie?
That's one of the more nagging complaints that Letterbox viewers have on the movie is there's one of the things is people are like the killer's motives are like kind of murky. And I think he's very clear.
I got it enough. I figured it out
Like
enough. I just wanted to
he,
know, like, what is
so
he thinking?
Yes.
slashers usually, they're like a lot of slashers are vengeance based. There is like that whole aspect of it. My favorite slasher totally is 1996's Scream. Okay. That is not, I'm not reinventing the wheel here. That's just one of the best movies ever made. So, but like one of the things before Billy is like, how about this for a motive? Your slut whore mother, like before he gets into that whole thing, um, back in the video store, Randy said, it's the millennium, motives are incidental.
Yep.
And there's something about the thematic motive is much more interesting to me in this kind of late stage as well. And for Danny to kind of spout about the old ways and how this is a way to prove yourself. He's obviously part of some kind of, he obviously has some kind of ethos that is not accessible to, I mean, he lays it out what his belief
Hmm.
system is and what each of these kills is supposed to do and the sacrifice the blood of the knife only those who die are marked with the blood of the knife will die tonight like there's obviously a ritual aspect to this. And also, guys, I mean, I've said it on a couple other podcasts, so I apologize for bringing this here too, but like a lot of the just fucking mass killings in this world are just they're ethos based. This person has a strange ethos and they're going to kill a bunch of people to prove it. And that's
Yeah.
what Danny's doing.
Yeah.
I want to add too, though, that he does bring up like when people say, "Oh, Christmas is getting too, it's too commercial," but Halloween too,
Halloween.
he's like, "It's
Yeah.
too cutesy." He's like, "What the hell?" He's like, even Halloween. I mean, like, where's like, I think he's like, think about 400 years ago, people were actually burning alive in the fire. So I thought motive was kind of more. I didn't. I thought it was kind of like I want to see a real happen because you can see it in his eyes. Like at the very end, he's like, "Let everyone through. This is fucking it." Like just even that
Yeah.
second watch when he's like, "You're all gonna fucking die in here tonight." I was like, "Dude, this is." And then the actual real kill when he kills Tall John, like
Oh,
like a quick like the
Yeah.
yeah.
initiative.
Yeah.
That one
Um,
had the
Jeremy,
biggest
Jeremy, who
impact for me.
plays Tall John, he just fucking nailed that like
yeah, but I mean,
reaction.
because people think like, oh, this is part of it. Like even in the bowling alley, woohoo! Hey, you want me to
Yeah.
do this? Everyone's just like, cool, do it. Like that. I like that juxtaposition of like, wait, is this real? If it's not, like even when he's walking to his trunk, dog walker. Happy
Yeah.
Halloween. Like it's really simple to kind of bring that in, and uh,
Yeah. I love
we
that
do
stuff.
we do this thing like where Andy and I do a dick shot kill, and my dick shot kill 100% was the creative, when they went to, was it grabbing V, like the chainsaw, and and then kind of going through and grabbing her through the
It's my
guts.
favorite. It's my absolute favorite gag in the movie. It always gets a big reaction whenever I watch it with the crowd. It's the
Yes.
moment that gets the biggest, like, just like you can tell people are like laughing, like enjoying it, like, oh my God, okay, this is what we're doing now. Like,
Yeah.
it's where the movie finally is like, you think we are just like, you think we're kind of having a good time, we're all having fun with this. Yes, we are. Here comes a hand through a body. Like, it's where you're like, oh, okay, they're not trying to be, this is trying to be fun. It is, to me, that's like the most fun moment of the entire movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Tall John's death actually had the most impact on me because of his look of just betrayal.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
Like, what are you
is this
doing,
real?
Danny? Is this
yeah,
really happening? And I felt because just prior to that, we
yeah,
saw like this soft, tender moment between Tall John and Matilda where he's just like,
yeah,
this is my vacation time. I come up and he's a benevolent guy. Y'all get to stay at my house and party. I have a career outside of
yeah.
this. You know what I mean? So he's just this calm, nice guy.
Agreed,
But
agreed.
when
I
you
Stab him
just,
in
first
the
watch
heart.
though,
I was like,
first,
oh,
first watch though, I thought something was, it's like, is it that trope where like you set up, like, because he's
oh
never
yeah.
involved with everyone,
yeah.
he allows everyone to come out, like, what's going on with Tall
He's a
John? But
good a good red herring,
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
Tall John was designed to be a red herring for
Yeah.
sure. And
yeah,
then like the scene at the lake coming right after we know who the killer actually is like just a moment to actually kind of recenter yourself in like these are just people. These are just people doing something that they enjoy, you know?
Yeah.
And then it makes Danny's thing of like taking that to like a really destructive level, like, and I'm right there with you too. Like he said, the whole movie, like the tradition of this is mired in something much darker, something that honored something much darker,
yeah,
and the way he breaks down. There was one sect that there was one group of people who understood the power of sacrifice, and so I believe. I mean, I haven't like really, we haven't we kept it pretty murky on purpose, but just based on the way he's talking, I believe he is following some kind of uh, like old religion that he has invested in. That's kind of my idea of it.
yeah.
Good.
That's what I got from the motive. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, when, but it is kind of cool. Like as Andy was saying, it's kind of like what. Like there, that's what's so great about film. It's like that's what
Yeah,
I dig about it, especially horror. The probably most controversial genre out there, but I still think it's like you're able to kind of form your own your own thought process because Scream, the way you put it with Scream and the motive behind it, brilliant because motive, why, like it's
yeah, yeah.
um
Why?
it was interesting. I
The
dug it.
other part too that actually made me think of Scream when I was watching it the second time today was actually Rosie's kill. How he's not Danny is he stumbles and he trips and falls, and he isn't like
Yeah.
a pro at this, you know.
Yeah.
Same as in Scream. Like she gets one up on him and whacks him with a golf club at one point,
They're
you
not
know, and
these
you're like, oh my God, she's gonna
supernatural.
get away because he's not a professional killer or
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, well, and
So
after he like gets her head into the insurance liability nightmare, um, he like he like tiredly walks over and sits down on the thing and just
yeah,
like takes a minute because
yeah.
that was a lot of work, man.
And that is something
Especially
you don't see
like
that in other slasher movies. The slasher's like this invincible tank that just is can't fail, you know?
I mean, and I love those slashers too. I do. I love Mia Jason in space. I'll watch Zombie Jason take on whoever forever. But like, I like big hulking killers. Good times. I have
Yep.
a really good time with that. But I like that's the Rob Zombie Michael Myers. You get the big guy and you have him like walk through a wall. But like I like old Michael Myers. He was just a thin beanpole of a guy just walking around doing stuff. Danny's a little more verbal
Yep.
until he unleashes. The last thing he says is is in that room. You want Halloween? This is Halloween. You know?
Yeah.
And that as soon as he unleashes on that night, he becomes the non-speaking killer again.
Mhm.
He doesn't say another word. Even when they're like, "Why?" Even they're Danny, stop. Not, he's not talking to. Oh no, he does. I'm sorry. I'm
Mark
sorry.
me. He just says
Make me
mark
a
me real quick. That's
sacrifice.
it
And
though.
make me a
Says, "Make me a
sacrifice. Yeah, but
sacrifice."
Yeah.
that's
He
kind of
Yeah.
was
at the
totally
end.
in the
But
zone at that point. Just like,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I
Oof.
love that
Yeah.
he takes his own and like brings it in, to it's what's interesting too, though.
It's such a weird, I love the weirdness of that. And he plays it so, Adam plays it so straight. And like when he finally gets the blood on his face, he's so relieved and so, it's like a spiritual moment for him. It's so weird. I love it.
Yeah, and that's what I think it goes back to the old ways. The old ways.
Right.
Back when the Elven were
Some
the
kind of
serious
weird
Yeah,
looking for the
druid thing
woods.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
for
because
sure.
that's what I dig. Like there's a guy actually, an author out of Wisconsin. They just came out like a week ago. We met him through the kind of the horror community. He's an author, and it's a book called Legend Has It, and it's a book based on a haunt. Like you remember like the old haunt where you have to sign a waiver to get in, and you get like $1 million if like you like that urban legend if you make it through. So he actually wrote a book about it, and
Cool.
it's like halfway level. So
Shout
it's
out
like that
DJ
idea.
Slater.
Yeah, and so it's kind of cool. I like this, approach to, you know, um, just I guess I'm more of a horror film guy, not really into the novels per se, but I am reading it and I'm really enjoying to see how he develops these monsters, these characters of these, college kids going through this haunt.
Yeah.
So, hey, so I guess the big question is haunt season 2 or
Yeah,
what's
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 next?
next?
Well, my wife and I wrote a Christmas rom-com that's coming out on November 1st. We're coming out in November. It's called X is a Christmas Past.
I
It's
saw
like,
this.
yeah, it's like a straight, I directed it. We made it in April. It's coming out. I don't have an exact, but maybe by the time this comes out, it will be announced like where it will be appearing. But like, I don't have that right now. It's coming in November,
Okay.
and this year, and it's great. It's a total blast. And then just this past week, so Liza and I basically, once a project finally starts to die down and we get our life back on track, because there all of this happens in addition to real life. She's a professional librarian. That's what she does. I work full time for Rob Scallon, the YouTuber. That's what I do. And then when a movie shows up, it kind of like and we have a kid. Like we have a kiddo, like
Yeah.
we have whole lives going on. And then
Yeah.
when the movie drops in, haunt season was the most insanely stressful period of my entire life. Like I could barely eat, I could barely sleep. I lost 20 pounds. It was 3 months of nonstop problem solving to get to the other side of it. And then when we wrote this script while we were waiting, what's X's was being well, not while Haunt season was being sold, we wrote X's. And then X's just kind of dropped out of nowhere into production. We knew these guys who kind of do this stuff, the producers, and they were like, "Let's take a look at this. Do you think it could be ready in April?" And boom, we had like a much bigger crew for X's, and we shot it like a movie. Like Haunt season was very, very indie. X's was like shooting a movie with all the trucks and all the crew. We had like a 30-person crew on it, and it was like incredible. And that, even though it took up so much time, it was like the a huge support system in place, and it was wonderful. And so now X is finally we like handed over the final one to the distributor at the end of August, beginning of September, and I'm just about caught up on like mentally on real life. And so just this last week, we had been carding it in the background a little bit, but we are now like really hardcore breaking our summer camp slasher.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Fan of
And with
those.
Brittany
Yeah.
Underwood, you had to get Brittany Underwood. You couldn't get Candace Cameron Bure. Just kidding.
Brittany was great.
Yeah,
Brittany's
no, and look,
incredible.
because I know my Christmas Hallmark movies, I mean, my favorites probably Let It Snow with Her or
Nick's
12 Days of
second favorite
Christmas,
genre.
which is like Groundhog Day meets.
Yeah.
It's got Jamie Palomino from Just
Yeah,
Friends.
yeah. No, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
I love the doing Christmas Eve over and over again until you get it right movie. Like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
like it's a good one.
I actually I actually have one that I set like it's like a Christmas horror movie, but it's called Discarded. It was my first screenplay. It actually, I set in some screenplay contests, around off my Film Freeway account, and it did well for my first jab at it. But it's called Discarded, and it's a holiday, like horror comes to life after the holidays. It's about Christmas trees. When people discard them out in the street, they
Oh, sure.
life and they start, eating and killing people. So it's set in an idyllic, Christmas town, but then everything just goes to hell. Like one of my lines, it's great. Like this girl comes out, with all these trees killing her community. She's like, "Not on my watch, you sons of branches." And and then and then like
Dude,
then
fun.
like the holly comes down and strangles her and decapitates her. But like the big kill is they're like, I think we got every tree, but they hear thunk thunk, and it's like, oh shit, the town square tree. Um, and then the ending, it's like I wanted to make a sequel. So and I got to kill everyone I wanted to kill. Republicans, scooters. I got to kill so many great people. I'm just kidding. But it's great.
I'm just
At the very
kidding.
end, it's like this thing because the trees start to shake before they come to life. This guy's like, "Oh my God, dude, my plants look great. They're fucking the best. I found this fucking weird, like what? It's the growth thing that it's this weird growth, like grow thing. You put in the,
Yeah.
in the soil.
Yeah, like a
What
miracle
plants
grow.
And
crave.
so the
Yeah.
camera pans down just a walking shot all the way down to the basement where all these huge marijuana plants are growing, and then they start to shake. So the sequel is like, ooh, is it gonna be pot plants that come back and kill people? But the reason why I went off on this is because I saw the X's of Christmas Past on your IMDb page, and I was like, oh, cool, he's going from horror to Christmas. How cool is that?
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean the real deal is like
real deal.
I found this to be true is that and also just watching the guys who I know some pretty successful YouTube guys, Rob, my guy I work for is like really successful. The my friend Craig who was in the movie, both Rob and Craig are in Haunt Season. They both get killed in it. Craig is Seth. Rob is Josh who gets his heart torn out in the beginning.
Hmm.
Um, they they just found where their interests overlap with content creation, And so like the only way you can do any of this for a really sustained period of time is if you're being genuine about what you enjoy. If you are genuinely making something that you enjoy, and that you would enjoy watching, and in doing that, if you can execute something that you would enjoy watching and you are the actual audience for the thing that you're creating, then the people who will receive it know that it feels genuine because it is. You're not trying to sell them something because they are an audience that's waiting for something. You're selling them something that you love, you know?
Hmm.
And that like I love horror movies. I love slasher movies. Like I could should we be trying to do a different type of horror movie? Maybe, but I want to do a camp slasher
Hmm.
next, Like I just love slasher movies so much. And maybe after I have my Halloween slasher and I have my camp slasher, I can move off to some other kind of horror movie, but those two slashers are my very favorite kinds. And same with the rom-coms. Like Liza and I watch the holiday rom-coms when it's the holidays, and we watch non-holiday rom-coms when it's not the holidays. We love romantic comedies. They are just fun. It's playing with the formulas is fun. Trying to make a genuinely good thing using the formulas is fun because the formulas are just the formulas. And if you toss the formula on and you toss some expository dialogue on it, you will get a movie. But if you take the formula, something they expect to see, you can make a trailer that looks like something that like will harken back to something that they love. But then you try to inject something true or unique on top of it that feels real. Haunt Season is the movie that the slasher that I've never seen. It's very character hangouty, but with characters that I like hanging out with. And there are a lot of people that I'm getting comments from, not a lot. The audience is half and half on Haunt Season based on all the reviews that I've read. We are landing right in the middle. And like a lot of people are like, this is like me and my friends. This genuinely feels like the haunt I work in. This I really engage with these people. The four girls, I love the four girls. I'm getting some people talking about the relationship of the four girls and how much they really enjoy watching them hang out. And then I got a whole other group of people who's like, these woke kids need to die. You know,
Oh Lord.
The internet, fuck the internet.
Yeah, yeah, you can't. Yeah. Some of that
Good
probably has
God.
bots. But Jake, Nick, do you have any other questions? Because man, that was a great spot to maybe end on. With Jake saying like make something that you would love and make something that you would want to watch. Like that's very inspirational. And I don't know how you feel, but I don't have anything else for him. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean that's like it's like make what you want to make. I want to make a feature.
Yeah.
That is what
do
my
it.
was, but
Do it.
Yeah.
Honestly, shorts, and then your short is incredible. So like take that energy and put it into a feature. I told you, dude. I told you when we saw you at the Milwaukee Horror Con. Like that you told me that's a 3 act thing. Act 1 is 20 minutes already. By the way, 20 minutes is a long short, harder to program. Harder to program, 10 and under, my guy. Okay. So, like, when you take a long short like that and it gets programmed because it's so good,
Hmm.
obviously, that takes up a big window in a shorts block, 25 minutes. But 25, 25, and 25, guess what you got, buddy?
Yeah.
You got a
yeah,
feature.
Yeah.
You give me the what is it, the 70s and the 90s?
yeah.
The 90s and the present?
90s and present day.
Yeah.
Dude, and you take that same kind of deal and you've got like you just shoot those other 2 segments. You've already got a third of your feature done if you want to do it anthology style.
Yeah,
Especially if it's all around one cabin.
yeah, I love writing, and and this is what's so cool about what Andy and I get to do is, get to talk to people, that, we get to watch movies, but then, getting behind the scenes, like, of a movie, that it's not only great because it's a genre that, both him and I love, but it's also local. It's like, because we
Yeah.
always preach, the love that we have for our area and, the genre. So it's been great. I'm bummed we're not going to get to see you in Chicago, but, I dig
Are
it.
you
That,
are you just coming for your block?
yeah, I'm getting my master's, so I have class
Oh,
on
sure.
Saturday.
Yeah. Well, great. Hey, get that master's, man.
Yep.
But also make that feature because it really does make a difference. Like shorts are great for meeting people, for meeting collaborators, and for getting out there. The big thing about shorts is when you get into these festivals, if you have the opportunity to go down and talk to the other filmmakers and talk to the other people making stuff, you find out who's doing what and where, and you become a part of the network. This is like the first time I've kind of been doing that. Like going to Milwaukee Horror Con, I talked to a bunch of you guys, and like I've been on other people's podcasts who are at Milwaukee Horror Fest too, or Horror Con, and it was just like a lot of fun and just finding out what people are up to and like how it's all working in the community around. I've never done the community thing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's a blast. But
Yeah.
then if you once you make your feature and it gets distributed, like then people think about you differently. Like X's happened way faster because we made a feature,
Yeah. That's
you
great.
know? And we've had 4 or 5 people or entities be like, when the next horror script is ready, before you send it to anybody, send it to us.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
God dang. Yeah, that's why I'm going down. I can only go on Sunday, but we're gonna network. I'm gonna
Yeah.
talk. I enjoy. I'm very much an extrovert, so I, don't mind rapping out and meeting people. I'm excited just to be recognized, like in
Yeah.
Chicago. It's great.
Well,
So,
it's great, dude. It's fun. Such a fun picture. I'm glad that you guys are, sending it out there and getting it out there. And
Yeah.
I love that you cast Sid. She was
Yeah.
incredible. You were great too, dude. You were great too.
Thank you.
I'm just so happy Sid finally got to play the other thing. She's had to play the victim so many times.
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, this time, yeah.
He had fun
It's
with it.
funny too because I'm writing another one and I have her in mind because she was really great to work with, and I'm like, in this one you will die because she didn't get to die. She didn't get to die in Hot Season. She didn't get to
No,
die in Murder Cabin.
no.
But I was like, no. I said at this one I think I want to kill you. But
In the original draft of Haunt Season, Janet, V, the one who does the bowling ball,
yeah,
she dies before the end. Like she got killed in the changing room before, but it was like a whole different version of the movie where like it was kind of like a half monster movie too. That like the budget got annihilated. Like there was no way we could do it on our budget, so it just became a straight slasher movie. And I'm really glad it did. But
yeah,
That's
yeah.
good.
it was
That's good.
awesome.
But
Well,
sometimes once you get to start to know these characters, it's like, I don't want to kill you.
yeah, I get it. Like they say, as long as you're
Yeah,
doing what you love, you don't work a day in your life, or whatever the saying
that's
is.
also not true. It's some of the hardest work I've ever done. But
Yeah.
but it's also some of the most fulfilling. So thanks
Yes.
for having me, guys.
Any
Yeah.
websites, social media, anything that we should let our three listeners in
Oh,
Scotland know about and
yeah.
things like
I
that?
don't know what it's on streaming on Scotland, but I do recommend just typing into Google or just watch the app Haunt Season and just seeing where it's available and just check it out. And once you've checked it out, go on Letterboxd and just give it 5 stars no matter what you thought. Thanks a bunch.
Yeah. We'll be sure to let people know for sure.
Other than that, like, I'm Jenks37 on Instagram. It's not like my socials are not like all I really basically do is toss promo around
Yeah.
and the occasional like we're entering finally the season where I do a bunch of slow-mo video of like Halloween decorations I see around town because
Perfect.
I get so excited to be in this season. It's
That's
happening. It's
perfect.
finally happening.
That's perfect. Well, yeah, Jake, thank you so much for taking the time to do this with us. Really
No,
appreciate
dude,
it.
thanks for having me. I love doing these are the conversations that are the best.
Yeah, I gotta say, this is one of the most. We've done several interviews. This is one of my favorites. I'm really happy that you took the time and like I said, yeah, this will be for us. This episode kicks off haunt season
Hot
for the
season.
City of October.
Woo!
So
Yes.
look
Woo!
at you with your fireworks. Thank you.
I don't like that. I didn't know that that's what happened when you do thumbs ups, but I guess that's what happened.
Uh, well, it couldn't have been better timed. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um, let me just so appreciate it and yeah, let's take care.
You too.